Hello, fellow Pythonistas. Welcome to Python with Friends. You have indicated interest in learning Python, introduction to Python. So I can call you Pythonistas. I want to use this medium just to tell you how this short time together is going to be like. And the first thing we're going to do is to go through the survey we sent out a few days ago and see what people said about how they want to learn this course with me. So I'm going to share my screen now. Just give me a second. What we're going to do is we're going to check our last survey, the results of the last survey, and see what people are saying. Okay. Here we are. So we had about 141 responses, as you can see, if you're going through the slide with me. And about 97% of the respondents said they were interested. Some said no, some said maybe. And we wanted to know what the Python levels are for each person who responded. And about 56% said they don't know anything about Python, which is okay, which is what we expected anyway. But some knew a bit. Some can say hello world, which is one of the ways that most computer programming lessons are taught. You are taught to say hello world or hello universe, mostly hello world. And people here said they promised to make commitments of at least 2 hours. Some, about 44% said 2 hours. Some said 4 hours. And then here we are. Some people said they would prefer to have the classes on Sundays. Saturdays. 81% said Saturdays. The next being Sundays. That's when most respondents felt they would be free to join. And then here we were asking about what time will be best. 33% said nights and 28% said evenings. So if you can merge these two, we could get a time that will be convenient for most of the respondents. Then I also asked if you'd be interested in knowing anything about data science. And about 6% of the respondents said yes, they will want me to contact them after this course so that they will know. If I have anything to do with data science, they'll be interested. And the rest of the people here said yes, they'll be interested in me contacting them after filling this form, which I tried to contact. So we have about 141 respondents. In the class already, we have 75 or so people who have joined the classroom. And so I want to take this time to also share with you what people can do with Python. People do a lot of things with Python. I'll just share with you a personal experience I had. I was contracted to supervise a group of consultants who were working in a refugee camp in a town in Ethiopia called Gambela. And they sent their reports, and I was supposed to go through the reports and make corrections, make adjustments, make it more presentable to share so that we can share with the donors and the people who are sponsoring the project. And they had initially contracted a few people to write this report. So of course, most reports will be written in Microsoft Word. And to collect and analyze the data, the consultant used a software called SPSS. Now, SPSS is not a free software. It's a paid software, except if you get a hacked version or something. So these are the charts after analyzing what he got, what was collected from the field. This is what he was able to analyze and present. And so when I got this, apart from going through everything that was written down and see what needed to be removed and what needed to be added based on my interview with the people who went to collect the data from the field, I had to go through this and check the graphs, the analysis, and everything he did. And it took me just a day to change to this. He used SPSS for his analysis, and I use Python. And this is how my reports came out. And they had sent an initial report before I joined the team. And as soon as I sent my reports with adjustments, and I gave them to verify that all the information they wanted to relay was inside, and we all agreed that we should submit my own corrections on my version, the donors had to send comments that yes, there's been a change in how the reports were being presented, simply because I made it more visually appealing because I use Python. Now, I don't know much about SPSS. I tried to learn it many years ago. I had to crack it, and I just didn't have any use for it. But with Python, I could use it for so many things, and data analysis and producing charts was just one of it. I could use it for as my calculator. I use it for artificial intelligence. I was able to use it to help doctors to detect pneumonia on lung x-rays. You just have it, you train it, and it can tell you that. So Python has a very wide range of use cases. We could just go through, we could just do a Google search and ask Google use cases for Python, and then let us see what we get. So we can see a little bit of it here. You can use Python for data analysis. You can use it for web development. You can use it for scraping the website from machine learning, which is what I told you about, detecting if there's disease on an X-ray, right? We can use it for many things. You can use it for audio. There was a time we had to discover, we were working on a project. We were trying to see if we could detect if somebody had tuberculosis just from the way he or she was coughing. The issue was we had to collect data from lots of people that we suspected had tuberculosis, and then we had to go to collect data from people who didn't have it, and we just asked them cough into the microphone. It was a lot of data, and our sponsors backed out. But it has been done in India already because tuberculosis is a disease that tends to plague people from third world countries a lot. And so we have so many cases. Somebody said 40% of people in third world countries have a carriers of tuberculosis. Just that low immunity makes it to manifest. That's why people with HIV/AIDS who have compromised immunity tend to manifest tuberculosis. So yes, this is what you can use Python for. Data science. I just showed you the data analysis I did for a project in Ethiopia. And you can use it for artificial intelligence, you can use it for game development, web scraping, GUIs, enterprise applications, education, and so much. It can do so much because it has so many libraries because of its easy syntax and a very large open source community. People have different use cases for Python, and they try to project it, try to make people use it, and people see it and people like it. So here are different places where you can use Python, where Python is being used: insurance, retail banking, aerospace, finance, business services, hardware, healthcare, consulting services, infotech software. I tried other programming languages like C, C++, C Sharp, but Python was just so easy. The syntax was so readable. And I used to joke with my friends and I say, if you can speak English, then you speak Python already. It's just for you to add a little bit of math and then a little bit of ingenuity and creativity, and you produce a few things and start solving problems with your little knowledge of Python. So I'm glad you've decided to join me on this journey, and I'm sure that we're going to have a great time. One thing is for sure, I tried to make this as simple as possible. I tried to do this during the pandemic when we had the lockdown, and I discovered a lot of people were having issues with downloading softwares, installing them, and all that. So I decided to make this very, very simple. I'm trying to use the Google ecosystem. So Gmail, Google Classroom, and then Google Colab. So with all this, you have a computer, you have a phone, you have a tablet. I prefer to use a tablet or a laptop or a desktop. A phone might be a little bit limiting, but if you have the will, you can use a phone. But with all that, you don't need to install anything new. If you don't have a Google account or a Gmail account, just sign up for one. It's free and just use it for this course. Because the Python programming will be done in the Google ecosystem. They have everything that we need just for this introduction. In fact, even beyond. So get ready. Thank you for joining me, and I'm sure I will see you soon. Cheers.